Alright guys and gals, welcome to another Ozzstar's Today's Fun Project. We've got a little tool review here. I'm not sponsored by these guys, I wouldn't mind if I was, but I think this is a tool that you guys at home, the DIY guy, can definitely use. It's called the Original Thread Checker, and what this is basically, you know, if you go to the big box stores like Depot and Lowe's, you can check a bolt size or a nut that you need to fit. Well, this is all on one cable here. And what's nice about this particular product is you can take it to the car or the machine or whatever you're working on instead of trying to bring the machine to the into the store. That doesn't work too well, right? You got the black anodized here, which is the metric sizes, and then the chrome here, I guess it's kind of like a chrome finish. That's a standard size. So this particular one is nice because it has a bunch of different sizes. This one goes from M3 to 0.5 all the way up to a, what's this one here? M24 3.0. So that's pretty big. And the standard size, I think this one is, what is this? This is 1 inch by 6 pitch thread. And, oh, I'm sorry, 8. And then this one goes all the way down to, oh, what do we got there? Number 6 by 40 threads, so that's really tiny. Now this is the big kit. They make 2 different size kits. I think this one has 23 on the one and 21 different sizes on the other. They have ones that I think are more like 10 and 12, but you know, I opted for the big kit because sometimes I'm working on big stuff and it's really nice to be able to know what you're working with. In fact, I got this engine block right behind me here. I'm getting ready to do some of this Chevy 454 big block, and I want to figure out what size head bolts I'll need, what thread pitch. So why don't we take this over there and I'll show you guys how it works. Okay, so we're over here at the engine block, and let's say, for instance, this hole here, we want to know what size bolt we need for these head bolts, and we don't have any bolts. We don't know what's what. So just eyeballing it, what I do is, you got fine thread and coarse thread. You know, like example here is this one. This one's a fine thread, and this one here is a coarse thread. So I can just by eyeballing look in there and know that that's a coarse thread. So if I start with, let's say, for example, a 1/2 inch coarse, I can see, I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but that's way too big. So we go down a notch. We got 7/16. And it's a 14 pitch thread. That's the other thing I should have mentioned. Every one of these is engraved really nicely, easy to read, which is really nice. Did I mention they were made in America? So anyhow, we just try to kind of twist this in here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that fits nice. Let me get this out of your way so you can see. That's the little bit, you know, I really love this tool, but the one thing that's kind of a pain is all these are on the cable. You could cut the end and slide them all off, but then you've got them all jumbled up. So it's not too bad. You just kind of spin it on there, and I can see that that's threading in nice. Hopefully you can pick that up on the camera. But that's it. That's that size bolt hole. So now, if you want to go to the hardware store or the parts store and you need a bolt, you know, or you're going to order a set of head bolts, you get the 7/16 14, and it'll fit like a glove. So that's good for that. The other side, let's say we have a nut we want to try. Let me get a nut. I'll be right back and we'll try that. All right, so I just grabbed this nut out of my collection of nuts. All right, so you know, you can see the size. You kind of match it up. Here, let me get you on screen. I can look inside there, and you probably can't see it, but I can tell it's a fine thread. So you're not going to start with anything coarse. That's a coarse thread there. Then if I go to this one here, it'd be nice if you could see it. Here's a fine thread, but that's way too big. So let's drop down. And here's a, what size is this? 3/16 24 pitch. So we'll see if that one fits on there. And you can see that fits nice. So now we know what we're dealing with. So if there's, you know, you lose your nut, I don't know. Well, let's say you do lose a nut. You can always go down to the store and find one easily, just like that. And then, of course, if you have a bolt, oh hell, let's go get a bolt. All right, so let's just try it real quick with the bolt. It looks like it's a coarse thread here, and we'll start with a size that's close. That's a fine thread, so that's not going to work. This one here, that's too loose, and that's a M12 by 1.25. Try the next one. Okay, so we got a metric bolt, and it is an M10 by 1.5. Not sure if you guys can see that or not. Doesn't really matter. Take my word for it. But now we know what it is. So if you need a nut, you can go find it, or another bolt like it. All right, well, for my first tool review, I think it was, I don't know, I talk about tools and cars all the time, right? So anyhow, these are made really nice. They're really precision made. I like the product. They have these beads, these small white beads in between, so they're spaced nicely, so you can easily, you know, find which one you need. And they're very well made, and like I said, made in the USA. So that's something good to see nowadays, right? Anyway, the only thing I probably don't care for, which is very minor, is it'd be difficult to get these off of the cable. You'd probably have to cut this and put on some kind of other attachment if for some reason you had to slide them off and individually check a hole or size nut. But anyway, it's a great tool. Add it to your collection. Tell your wife it's my fault, okay? All right, guys, I thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. And if you like the video, leave a comment below. Let me know if you want to see some other tool reviews. I got some cool things in the works coming up, a lot of editing, so I appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.